But first off, if you're just a beginner, I would say that focus on selling and buying instead of collecting stuff at the moment. Because when you can start collecting would be, or when I would start collecting would be when I get to the bank vault and the 2050 auction. Because that's when the good stuff are starting to show up. Don't try to bid for every round. Because yeah, you might have that feeling where you're like, oh, I want to bid for every round, try to get everything. Kind of get to like familiarize yourself with the items, like knowing like, oh, this costs less, this costs more, is it worth it or not? Or let's say that this is starting at 100 and nobody is bidding, then go ahead and bid because you know for sure you're making the profit. Maybe, don't quote me on that. The one thing about cheaper auctions like these is that when you put the items on your shelf or when you display them for sale, to put it up for sale, customers tend to buy them faster compared to these items, like these items up here, or the items that are like from the 2050 and the big vault or the very expensive auctions. It takes them a while, it takes the customer a while to come and buy it from you. So if you're just a beginner, you can focus more on the cheaper stuff. Cheaper auction compares to the expensive auctions. If I were you and I have some gems, I would not go to any of these. They basically have the same stuff from the auction that costs cash to join. The only auctions from the gem auctions that I would spend money on would be the volcano. Just because it's pretty new and they have some decent stuff. Like these right here, I found them in the volcano and their rarity is insane, which is higher than the legendaries ones. When it comes to accepting or declining an offer, try to go for 30% and above. But as you're starting out new, it's going to be pretty rare to find customers that will be willing to offer 30% and above. So try to go for like 25% and above. So in order to get to where I'm at, it takes a lot of grinding and just familiarizing yourself too. And sometimes there are some nice players online who have like a high net worth and they're willing to help you. So they would give you like expensive items to sell, or they would buy your stuff for 50%. That's only if you're lucky though. I was pretty lucky that I was able to get some people to help me. I never sell any items that are broken. I would take them to the repair shop because once you repair it, the value goes back to what it should be. If you're a beginner and you don't have the teleport pass and the repair shop is pretty far from where you are and you don't want to have to run back and forth, you can just sell your items. But if it's like a common and it's broken, that's up to you if you want to sell it. But if it's like the epic ones or legendaries, I would get them repaired so that way their value is worth what they should be. For grading, I only grade the ones that are legendaries. But if you're just a beginner, like when I started off as a beginner, I try to grade epics also. Because once you grade them, their value would go up. It depends on what grade they are. So like, for example, these red cars, for a silver it goes 36,000, and then for a bronze they're only worth 28,000. But if you don't have the lucky pass like me, that I have, the lucky grading pass, there's a chance that when you grade stuff, it can turn into a replica, meaning that it's fake, and that means that your item's value will go down. So it's up to you whether you want to take the risk or not. And another thing about saving gems, do not spend your gems on fast forwarding this or like hurrying it up. Like just let it do its thing. So for example, I usually focus my gems on these upgrades So I would increase my selling space so that way I can sell more stuff and I can empty my inventory space that way. And so that way I can go back to the auctions and buy more stuff. Also, if you do find any chests, like the bronze, silver, and gold chests, it's up to you whether you want to keep the gold chests, but I usually just open all of those ones, because people don't really care for gold chests. Like, they don't really care to trade for gold chests, but they do care for diamond chests, as well as the gem safe. I don't have a gem safe to show you guys what it looks like, because I combined them all and turned it into a mega safe. You won't be able to find a diamond safe in any of these auctions, not that I know of, but I tend to find it in the bank vault in the 2050, but mainly the bank vault is where I find diamond safe the most. So one thing about the auction is that, let's say you're done bidding. So you're done bidding the first round and you don't have any more money, or you don't want to bid no more. Don't wait until you get to the last round to leave. Or don't wait until you get to the last round and then the whole animation plays to show you what you got and all that stuff. I would just automatically leave. And I never try to bid all my money in one round. Unless they have something that I really want, then I would spend all my money in one round. So one thing about knowing whether these items are legendary or not is that you would go to the auction a couple times and familiarize yourself with the stuff. So like, I see these stuff a lot, so that means that they're not legendary. Then once you're aware of the items, and then you go into the bid and you see that there's an item that you've never seen before and it just happens to be in there, there's a chance that that item might be a legendary. But sometimes people confuse the net worth with what they're having. So just because you have 9 million does not mean that your net worth is going to be 9 million. It's based on what you sell. So I've sold like that many items, but your net worth can go back down. So let's say that I went around and purchased everybody's stuff, then my net worth will go down. So the net worth is from what you purchased and what you sold together to get your net worth. Also, to not use 30 gems to buy a calculator power, not worth it. When it comes to grading my limited items or serial items like these, I prefer not to grade them because there's a chance that I could get it as a bronze, and that would definitely decrease the value of people wanting to offer for that. Like, people would prefer offering a non-graded item that's limited compared to it being bronze or silver. Unless it's gold, then yeah, they would definitely want that, but there's a low chance of you getting a gold. So I tend to not grade any of my limited unless I have like a lot of them. Then I could try grading to get a gold for it.